Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Star Blast Studios coming here with a brand new figure review, and today, guys, we're going to be taking a look at the 5K Toys Kong Studios Goku Black variants of the Resurrection F Goku. So a while back, they did actually go and release their own variant of the Resurrection F Goku in a more 2.0 kind of method, like engineering, like a 2.0 factor is, and all those things considered, in order to make their own revival of F Goku. And upon releasing that, I didn't actually go and pick that up because I saw that Demonical Fit was making one, and also when it came to the promo images and all the stuff seen in there, it seemed like that this figure was going to have initially going to be in 7-inch scale, but now it's in 6-inch scale. Anyways, there was a lot of reasons why I didn't pick up the initial one, and what they had actually gone and made a Goku Black variant with some different accessories than that original thing that they had released. And that's why I just went and decided to go and pick this up, because I love it when figure companies go and make something different and unique to their own, and using that to make that with the parts given to them by SH Figuarts, by copying them. But anyways, let's get right into the box. I did actually go and pick up the bundle, so there is this thing over here, which comes with 2 heads. One is a Super Saiyan version of this, and then you also have like a Super Saiyan Rose of that the exact same mold that they use for this. But this is obviously going to be Goku Black, you know. Initially, with this one, it was Super Saiyan Blue, but now this is just a Super Saiyan Goku Black. But anyways, yeah, you don't really get too much with the box. The only thing on the back is the warning, like right there, and just like, well, I guess there's no warning or anything like that. Yeah, it's a completely plain box. So we really got nothing more to get into here when it comes to these boxes. So anyways, without any further ado, let's crack this thing open and see how cool it actually is. Alright guys, so here we have the Resurrection F Goku Black version. I'm not exactly sure what to call it. Here we have the Super Saiyan Goku Black out of the packaging. And one thing I gotta make sure that you guys know is that when it came to 5K Toys, the way I had to go and purchase this, I had to go and purchase this in a bundle, meaning that this extra set right over here with the Super Saiyan and Super Saiyan Rose, this was something I had to actually go and get if I wanted to get this character in the first place, which I have mixed feelings of, because I really didn't want to get that, and they also had their Super Saiyan Blue Goku on the site sold by itself, like for like $60. So I think it's strange, but it is discounted, so there is that. And actually, upon getting this bundle, it actually fixes one of the issues that I do have with this figure, and that is the Super Saiyan paint job that they did with it. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I do like the way that they sculpted it. I think it definitely captures the essence of the way that Goku looked in Dragon Ball Super, like with the Super Saiyan sculpt, and also, you know, you would imagine that this would be the exact same with Super Saiyan Blue. And, you know, it's a new different kind of sculpt, and whenever companies are able to do that, I really do like it. Would I use this over my Demonical Fit Super Saiyan Goku sculpt if I were to interchange like the faces? Well, for sure, I definitely would not be using that. But when it comes to Goku Black, if I were to have him in a stop motion or something, I definitely would want to use this hair sculpt. But to get into the problem, when it comes into this hair sculpt that I do have, I'm not sure if I really like the way that they do this hair. It's not necessarily like my cup of tea. It's really glossy, and it almost looks like macaroni and cheese, to be honest. But not like in the sense where it looks like macaroni and cheese, just like with the 1.0 Super Saiyan 3 Goku, but just in its... I don't really know how else to explain it. It just... I think that the darker yellow with the metallic finish really does not fit Super Saiyan in the ways that I would generally like. Now, I see kind of what they're going for here, because by making it like a darker tint of yellow, it does kind of give Goku Black Super Saiyan a little bit more of a unique look, which I do overall appreciate. But in terms for me, it just doesn't look as well as it could. And so that's why I'm happy that I have like this set, because, you know, even though it doesn't come with any Super Saiyan Rose features, which I'm honestly fine with, what I can do easily is just take the figure out of the box and just use this sculpt and just like plug that in. And one thing I do want to say that I really like about this set so far is it's way easier to actually go and interchange all of the heads with this, but it is pretty difficult to get the front piece off. There we go. So let me go ahead and get the actual face off here of the Goku Black. And voila, there you go. Now, obviously there is a little bit of a slight discoloration between the eyebrows and the hair, but that's actually something that's pretty common around with SH Figuarts, where the eyebrows are a little bit different, and I think it matches well enough to where I think it absolutely works. But for the rest of the review, though, I am absolutely just going to have to put the regular Super Saiyan head back on, just so we can have the accurate look, and people who get it by themselves know what they're getting into. And so there you go. But for the rest of the figure, I think that this look for Goku Black is honestly really, really cool. I absolutely love the way that this design has turned out. I really like the way that they did the feet, and they sort of did like the black lines throughout it to give him some more of that Goku Black look, but also maintaining like the boots from the way that the shoes that Goku had when he was in the Resurrection F-Gi. I honestly really dig this look, and it's definitely one of the strongest factors that I love about this figure, is that it's a look that we haven't really seen before, and when it comes to Dragon Ball stuff, that's the kind of stuff that I like. It's honestly a really, really good thing that this figure has going for it. Just the originality and just the concept of having Goku Black in this outfit. I definitely think it can also be used for like a lot of really cool customs, and yeah, honestly, this is just absolutely fantastic. Now, when it comes to the paint apps, I think that the way that they did the matte finish, overall, it turns out great. But there is a crazy problem that I have with the actual paint apps. But overall, like the matte finish, I think it does. Again, it does look great. But the problem I have with it mainly comes with when moving the figure around. Now, you can see a little bit of the metallic finish over here actually coming off. Sorry, not the metallic finish, the matte finish. And the reason why was because the figure initially, when it was made to be like all glossy, and I think that's how the initial Resurrection F Goku came out in some reviews, if I'm not mistaken. And for the Goku Black variant, they went and gave it a matte finish. But the problem is whatever paint they use to actually go and coat this is easily coming off. And one of the present problems that I'm seeing with it comes from this end. So off camera, I actually went and tried moving the legs to see what would happen, and I guess I'll do it right over here and show you guys. If I move this leg up just a little bit, you can see that the stress marks and everything, like in the plastic moving, is causing the paint over here to come off slowly but surely, and it's causing really stress marks, and that's horrible. And I think I honestly just put a little scratch on there. Man, that's just honestly really, really bad. Now, I did actually go and have this. This figure like out for like a little bit, and over time the marks did just go back. But the problem is that even in some certain cases, like I would just like slightly like scratch it with my fingernail, and then it would come off. Yeah, it's just a honestly huge disappointment with this figure that the paint apps is going along like that. It makes me really nervous to even move the legs around, and that really sucks because honestly I would really like to use this in some stop motion. But if this is gonna happen, it's almost like I'd rather the matte finish not even be there, so that the paint isn't constantly being chipped off. It's just this. It's such a huge disappointing thing with this figure, and that's honestly what really kills it for me. But and it's really sad because I love Goku Black, and in terms of everything else, I gotta say everything else is fantastic. It's just the paint is really, really bad with this, and I really wish I don't have to say that, but that's just how it is. But anyways, that's pretty much it with the one disappointing factor. Everything else is honestly really good with articulation and everything, which we'll get into a little bit later as much as I can without chipping into plastic. But let's get into the accessories. So for the accessories, I think they definitely did a good job with this. You get 2 fists, which comes on it right out of the packaging, 2 Kamehameha a pair of Kamehameha hands, 2 martial arts hands, 2 open palm hands, and you also get 1 instant transmission hand and 1 karate chop hand, which I assume they expect you to have a like Goku Black figure from the Monocle Fit or the official, whichever, to actually go and use this accessory with. Now, one complaint that I have, and I guess it's something that I feel shouldn't be as present, but considering it's like their own thing, it's kind of a complaint, but kind of not. None of these hands have Goku Black's time ring sculpted on. It's not a big deal. It's just something I definitely got to point out. Hopefully, it won't bother too many people regarding that. And for the actual faces, you do get the one with Goku Black looking off to the side as a Super Saiyan. And you know what? I'm sure you guys already know just how much I really dislike Super Saiyan, just faces looking off to the side in general. We do get a smirking face, which is honestly my favorite face out of all of the faces for sure. And then we do get a yelling, screaming face. And now, one problem I have with the yelling, screaming face is that the face just has a really just inauthentic look to it. Like, you can see here on this face that it just looks a little bit like, it almost has that sort of bootlegish type of look, which I don't know how to explain it, but that's the best way I can do. You can definitely tell that the eyes and the way that it's lining up with the mouth, like, something about it is just off. And, you know, since we are reviewing the bundle, I might as well get into the other faces. And this is the one that I think has a lot of, like, problems when it comes to it. I mean, since they're almost, like, exact same sorts of faces as the one that came on the initial Goku, you're expected to have the same kind of problems. You do get a teeth grid face, which comes in this set, and it honestly looks, there I go saying honestly again, it looks really strange, you know, in a lot of different angles. The stern face, I think, came out alright, but I think the face that suffers the most is genuinely the screaming face. Like, see, they did a little bit better when actually sculpting when printing out the regular screaming face for the Goku Black. But for this one, it definitely looks like they definitely printed the eyes way too high up on the actual face to where it comes out with this really bad, monstrous look. And on some of these faces, I have had some plastic come off of it, like that was some residue connected to the actual face, which I assume is a molding thing when they're making multiples and they have to take the plastic off. Yeah, I still had some of that on there, so I did have to take it off. It wasn't too hard, but, you know, still a present problem that was right there. But for the rest of the accessories that had come in the set itself, you will actually do, I'm going to interchange the head. This is one of my favorite faces, or my favorite accessories, all of them. It's this Goku Black head. And the reason why I like this so much is because of the unique face that comes with it. Like, this face came, out of all the crap I just gave their faces, this one came out really, really good. I loved how he's just looking down with this, like, I love how he's just looking down as if he's looking down at all of the people within the city he is going to kill. And I think that this would make for, like, a really good shot with, like, him and Zamasu if I was to interchange, like, this head with the official Goku Black, or just straight up change up the face. I definitely love this accessory. It's, like, 100% my favorite. Like, there's so much play factor with it that I can see going really, really well. And for the last accessory that comes in the actual, like with the actual set with the figure, you do get an interchangeable belt. One of the belts over here does have a little bit of articulation in it, and I think this is the exact same hanging part belt that came with the original Resurection F 1.0 Goku. And you just interchange it with this one, and this one has more of a glossy finish, so it doesn't quite look as good as this one in terms of paint, in my opinion, because this one has a matte. It still blends really well, so it's not too big of a deal. I just have my preference with this piece over the other. And this mold is actually taken from the Super Saiyan Blue Gogeta that they had released just a little bit back. And they didn't have to include this at all, but I'm really glad that they did. And it just is so much more play factor that I think is done really, really well on the figure. But the thing that just breaks it is just the paint, because no one likes to have a figure that where you have to be continuously worried about scratching it, like, or messing up any paint just by handling some basic points of articulation. And yeah, it's such a huge disappointment with this, and I wish I could recommend it, but when you have stuff like this happening and you're forced to buy it in a bundle with the price that it's at, I can't. And it really sucks because everything else on this figure looks really, really good. And for the last accessory that comes with it, this is the other hair that comes in the bundle set. You do get the Super Saiyan Rose type of hair, and it doesn't come with any Super Saiyan Rose faces to go with it, but it's just something that they included, which I guess is really nice. But it also increases the price of the bundle, or increases the price of just the sculpt of the hair. If you're not the 2-pack with the hair sculpt, if you're not looking for any Goku Black faces, or if you just don't like the sculpt of the hair, which honestly, if you didn't like the sculpt of the Super Saiyan hair, I don't see why you would be getting this set in the first place. But I guess just so I can have over here, here's my Super Saiyan Rose Goku Black, and this is done with the sculpt by Fairy Tail Custom, so I don't think and I really like this sculpt, so I definitely will not be planning on changing out the sculptings of, this is going to be my definitive Goku, Rose Goku Black hair, so I'm not changing it anytime soon. But I guess just so I can show you guys what this looks like with the face, I'll just take this off real quick, and then there goes the face. then when you have everything set up, you pretty much are left with a look like this. And quite honestly, I'm a little surprised as to how this looks with the face. I'm actually pretty impressed with it. Like, the sculpt actually works pretty darn well. Do I prefer it over the regular, like the regular sculpt that came with the original Goku Black figure? To be quite honest, I'm not sure. But I think that this would be preferred. Okay, so you know how they're releasing the Goku Black, the re-release of it with the translucent hair all over again? I can see people using this as like their sculpt so that they wouldn't have to use a transparent type of Goku Black hair. So this is absolutely a good option if you want to use that with your up and coming Goku Black figure over this one. It definitely has its usefulness to it, and that's something I do like with the actual set. But that's just something with the bundle that with the two hair sculpts that you get, not something with the actual figure. But otherwise, let me just get everything set up so we can get into the articulation. But yeah, getting into the articulation, this is one of the things that's still really impressive about this figure. There's no joints on here that are too loose or too tight, other than a little bit of the head, which is pretty stable. It doesn't get too loose, but it is like a little bit loose when handling and moving around. But really, that's it. When it comes to the arms and everything, it does go full 360. You do get all of the necessary articulation that you would expect with this thing. It's a little bit of a tight bicep swivel, but not too tight of a bicep swivel like you have with the SH Figuarts Bardock, which I've definitely yet to review. You do get double jointed elbow right there, and the wrist moves exactly how you'd expect, like on your typical SH Figuarts. Now for the actual torso, it does shift up just a little bit, so you can get a little extra range. You can get him crunching this far forward, which is causing paint defects and the paint scratches right there on the front, which is again unfortunate. You do get it moving a little bit back, and you do get that side to side round type of articulation right there, which again, I hate that I'm doing this. You know, it's like damaging the figure slightly, but it's part of the review, so I kind of got to. You do get a waist swivel right there, and surprisingly not as much paint defects going on. I already showed you a little bit of the leg articulation. I'll do it a little bit more just so you can see. The leg does kick out a little bit like that. It's not cutting up too much of the plastic. It's just, again, the limits isn't necessarily with this part because the plastic does move and you can get him kicking forward. But this part right over here, I can just feel there's so many bumps coming off of it, and I think, oh god, yep, that's the paint coming off, like, and going onto my finger right there. So, yeah, that's, oh goodness, yeah, I'm not gonna be wanting to move this anymore unless it's one of those things where I'm just gonna have it like with that glossy finish. It's almost like I wish they didn't even do the matte finish in the first place and kept him glossy just to prevent this type of thing from happening, which honestly really sucks. You do get a thigh swivel right there as well. You do get double jointed knees, which this joint in the back doesn't move as much anymore. On this leg, it's a little bit more tighter when you actually bend it in, but all of the joints on both ends of the knee are actually being utilized right there. And as for the feet, you do get some pretty good feet right there. Decent amount of ankle articulation, like with it not really moving forward at all, but moves back a little bit. And it does pop off like once you take it to its limit, but you can just plug it back on. It just happens when you force the figure a little bit. And as for the overall feet, it doesn't have any stability type of issues. It's not that kind of issue with it coming off. And you do get, of course, get the toe articulation. But yeah, that's how it is pretty much with this Goku Black figure. Again, the thing that really kills it is just the problem with the darn skirt thing, just having the paint come off, and it's just such a huge disappointing thing. And even as you guys have seen, the articulation is great, the sculpt is great, it's just the paint is continuously killing it. It's difficult for me to recommend this figure with seeing that these problems are having such a massive impact on how you can articulate the figure. And, you know, as you've seen just for this review, I barely moved the leg like one or twice at all. Like just one time off camera and a couple times here. And, you know, this issue is happening. And that just honestly really sucks. But yeah, in terms of size comparison, here you have him with the Super Saiyan Rose Goku Black and a Super Saiyan Blue Goku. Here it is with the event-exclusive Ultra Instinct Omen Goku and the Mastered Ultra Instinct Goku to go along with this set. And if you guys want me to, I could go ahead and do a review of the Kong Studios hair. I just haven't been able to get around to it due to other stuff happening, and considering I just got this Goku Black early, this one had to take a little bit of priority in getting the review out when the figure is relevant. But for some other size comparisons. Here it is with a Super Saiyan Blue Goku with the Kong Studio Super Saiyan 2 head sculpt on it, as well as the SH Figure Arts Bardock, which, again, if you guys want me to do a review of the Bardock, if it's not too late, I'll go ahead and do it. But just make sure to leave a comment in the comment section down below if it is required of me to do so. And for one last size comparison, here he is with the Super Saiyan God Vegeta, and right next to Goku Black, because of that little extra height that he has when compared to the other Gokus, he's definitely making Vegeta look a little smaller in comparison, almost like he's a midget. Not too much, it's not as bad as it would be next to a regular Super Saiyan Blue Goku, but yeah, it's definitely something that could work, but just not when they're in vanilla poses right next to each other like that. Now, overall, to wrap up this review of the Goku Black, it's definitely difficult for me to recommend this to any people who want to pick this up. Just the present issues with the paint applications is honestly very difficult, again, to recommend this. When it comes to customizers, like, I know that they can absolutely go and repaint this, and the parts that can be used for this for customs will absolutely be useful, because as you've seen, the articulation functions, the accessories absolutely function, the faces function well enough when it comes to some of the stuff in here, and the hair and everything, it's really good. It's just the paint, again, is a huge problem that brings this figure down so much to what this thing, to how great this thing could have been. It's such a nice looking figure when you're not posing it around and rubbing the paint, but it's so problematic. And so this is all the information that I have regarding this figure. This is the point of the review, so that you guys see just how much issues there is. And if you want to pick this figure up despite all of these issues, definitely go ahead and do so, but just be aware with your copy, it could very well be like this. Now, I don't know how this is going to be with any other copies. I'm not even sure if there's any reviews out for this guy yet, as this is just my first in-hand experience, knowing with this actual figure. If other people are going through issues like that, well, definitely let me know if you're one of those people in the comment section, and message me on Instagram. I'll probably look around just to see if anyone has issues like this with their copy, but it's just really disappointing, and I hope that Kong Studios really steps up their game next time they do something like this. Now the question is, will I be picking up the Resurection F Goku? Honestly, I'm probably not, just because I know Demonical Fit is still in the process of making theirs, and considering the experience I've had with this figure's paintwork, I'm definitely discouraged even more so to even get it in the first place. But yeah, that's going to be it for the review. Overall, I hope you guys did enjoy the suffering that I had a little bit with this figure. And thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the comment section. Until then.